Welcome back, YouTube family. Welcome back. Today I'm heading from Spokane to Missoula, Montana. Took a personal car, my son's car actually, and I'm driving out there just to be a spotter for somebody who has a lift gate who needs to unload something in Missoula. So roughly almost 200 miles away, and the load pays to be a spotter. It's 200 miles that way, 200 miles back for me, and we barely got $500 out of it. I mean, that's what we were bidding anyways, but they barely agreed after 2 days of posting this thing. They barely agreed on a Friday to have somebody come out there and do this for 500. I mean, I gotta go 200 miles there, 200 miles back. That's a 400-mile trip. It is a Friday. For somebody else to do this, there's really nobody sitting around waiting for anything in Missoula, Montana, because usually people are smart enough not to sit there and wait for anything, as freight comes out of there maybe once every few months, if even that, in that area, if even that. But yeah, that's not an expediting area. If you deliver there, you better make sure that your dispatch or whoever you're working with calculates you miles out of there to somewhere. I don't know where. Seattle probably, or Salt Lake, or really anywhere but out of there. So this thing, no driving required other than just me getting there and then me driving back. Weather, well, I'll show you guys what the weather's like. Oh, sorry, it's a little bit dirty. Here's what the weather's like. It did snow up in my house like 1.5 inches maybe today, or overnight, so we still have snow at my house, but this is how it's looking. This is how it's looking right now out here. I'm sure when we get to the mountains, things will be different. I repeat, I have not checked what the pass is looking like. I'm gonna get on there and look at the DOT cameras and see what I'm supposed to be, dealing with here in a few. But I am going there no matter what, and it's okay. Whatever the case is fine. This vehicle is an all-wheel drive car, so those of you who might say, well, what's up with you taking a car? This Audi is an all-wheel drive, so not a big deal at all. Basically, as long as roads are open, we are going. It doesn't matter what the road conditions are. As long as the roads aren't closed by law enforcement and DOT, then our job is to keep going and go get it done. That's how we work. If you guys are into doing it your way, not going to some places, being afraid of the snow, being afraid of the weather, whatever the case may be, honestly, you're going to be struggling, and I don't know how many companies are going to be working with you, to just keep you out of the snow and only keep you in certain areas and things like that. So, I mean, if you want to make the money, especially these days, and you want to do all you can and to survive in this, harsh industry the way it is right now, you guys got to follow the money. You got to go, because if your wheels are spinning, you're making money. If your wheels are not spinning, you're not going to be making any money. And you're not going to be making any money just sitting around in the southern states or below I-40. That's definitely not what you're going to be getting. Just a hard school today for you guys. The hard truth, it's better to take the bitter truth than the sweet lies that other people are telling you guys on here. Because wintertime is always a rougher time than any other time. The holidays hit on certain days of the week and creates slowness. Brokers aren't working posting loads. Their customers aren't working posting loads for brokers. So it's one of those things where, you gotta get what you can get and get all you can get. The only way to do that is to follow where the money goes. Go where the load goes and roll as much as you can to make that bread. There you go. You see, we got a little bit of snow right there on the left. We'll get up there. We'll get up there in the snow. Just got some Wendy's. I haven't got Wendy's in a long time. They got a new sandwich, so some chicken sandwich. That's what I'll be eating today, right here. I filled up at the Maverick at State Line. And the fuel was like $2.95, I believe. $2.95 for regular gas. That's what this car takes. Then it should last me, the tank on here should last me to Missoula and back. So at least 400 miles I'm gonna get out of it. Oh yeah, we're starting to get into the pretty romance. A lot of drivers are scared to go in the snow in the winter. They're, you know, I don't know why, but you just go with the road conditions and, you know, report and keep communications at 100%. And if, you know, we're driving slower than usual and it causes our ETAs to shift because of the weather, and pictures are provided and ETA changes are provided and updates are provided, we're all fine. That's how things work. You know, winter's winter and we just go. Roads are open, we go. That's how things work. Sometimes it's, you know, a little bit slower than usual, but, you know, that's how it is. What are you gonna do? But I love 3 seasons out of the year. The best one, obviously, is summertime. You guys probably already know that. Second best is wintertime. And third is fall time. I don't really, you know, springtime, I don't really care much for spring. There's really nothing special about it, you know, to me. But those are the 3. In winter, I call it a romance. If you're driving somewhere, you're all alone, you don't know what to expect next, if the roads are open or not, if, you know, how the road conditions will be ahead and all that. I call that road romance, because it's something different other than, you know, you being somewhere at a same job for years and years, at a same station, or sitting behind a desk somewhere, you know, in the same area, staring at the same thing, doing the same thing, either packaging something or whatever it is, or if you're in a factory, you know, for years doing the same thing. It just gets boring and odd, and, you know, you get burned out. This, you know, even with expediting things, drivers do get burned out, but those are because driver gets homesick, family, you know, all that stuff. But if those are the only real reasons, really, because drivers get homesick, or they just can't do it, and you know, things don't work out for them. They can't drive all night, or, you know, perform as needed, you know what I mean? Because a lot of drivers think they can do it because they drove at some point somewhere and they did clear, you know, some certain amount of miles and this and that. But it's different when you're all alone, sitting by yourself in the vehicle, and you gotta drive all night long, you know. Done it plenty times to show you guys, and a lot of times I get a phone call or emails and then speak to a few different people, and they're like, man, that's insane. I can't, you know what I mean? I gotta have my nighttime rest, and I don't know how people do it. People do it. Policemen do it, firemen do it, ambulance drivers and their co-pilot does it. Reefers do it all the time. You know, reefer truckers, they drive all night long all the time. A lot of it is nighttime driving. You know, so yeah, there's just certain people can do it and certain people can't do it. So just something for you guys to think about before you start this. If you think that it's all going to be during the day driving, you're 100% wrong, because most of our loads, the ones that we can get decent pay on, and, you know, most of the freight comes out in the afternoon or closer to evening time, and then you drive all night long to get it there first thing in the morning, if not direct nonstop. So that's our job. Our job is, you know, time critical freight, and we got to be prepared to get it there ASAP. That's the job. There's no other way around it. If you think you're just going to drive at night, drive in the daytime, sleep at night, that's not how this job works. Here's the romance I was talking about. guys see? Let me know if you guys enjoy this kind of weather. I was supposed to be there by 1500 local time, but when I took off and when I put it in the GPS, it was showing 1530. So I've been driving a bit, and ETA has shifted a little bit in my favor. 320 now. I'm just gonna keep pushing. I always do 5 over the speed limit, and that's what we're allowed to do out here without any kind of consequences. If you're doing just 5 over, nothing's gonna happen. A lot of times others do like under 10. If you're under 10 over, then you're still fine, but I don't know if I'm gonna be pushing it like that. I'm gonna try to get there ASAP and you know, do my best, because in the passes out here, basically the yellow signs, whenever you're going through like turns, windy roads and all that, the yellow signs are for semi-trucks. So you guys got to understand that if a turn says 45 miles an hour, that doesn't mean that you should only be doing 45 miles an hour. That's for semi-trucks. That's for, you know, heavy equipment. So I obviously do a lot faster than that when the road conditions permit it, but you just kind of, you know, this is where experience comes in. As you guys can see, it's wet. It's not really slippery, but you know, you still got to watch what you're doing. Got to do what you got to do, and at the same time be safe. Ooh, looks like somebody didn't have a good day. That truck went off the road. Whatever they had cargo is flipped over as well. Jeez. And the roads aren't bad. Must have happened last night at some point. Fell asleep, or God knows what else, or something in the road and swerved, but that's pretty much no turn there. It's like a straightaway there right before a turn. Well, my ETA keeps slowly going down, and I got 85 miles left, and I'll see if maybe, hopefully, somehow during that 85 miles, I can get it down another 7 to 10 minutes and be there, you know, closer to 3. But I'm doing all I can. It's just, you know, we were told they had it posted for 1500 or for 1700 for 5 p.m. and then they redid it and said, oh, it's going to be actually ready at 3. Can you still make it? And I'm like, well, we got to leave now. So we hurry up and left and on the way, and it just wasn't happening. But it is what it is. What are you going to do? If they would have given this load to us yesterday and told us to be there at a certain time, we would have been there and it would have been just fine. But yesterday they were still shopping around, trying to find the best price. Then we're posting it today, trying to shop around, find the best price. And, you know, they were screwing around until it's too late to have somebody there at the time that they need somebody there. So you can only do what you can do. All right, we're almost right there. Like, this Hilton is right here in the parking lot of Panda. There's a box truck. The driver is over there waiting for me, so I just saw the box truck somewhere in the back side. Or on the front side, I don't know what side. One of the sides. Let's see. And there's the truck and there's the driver. Right there. My work is complete. I wanted to... Come on now. My work is complete. I wanted to show you guys...
Creek Road, then turn right onto the US 93 North ramp.
December 13th fuel prices in Montana. I know somewhere down in Texas and in the southern states you guys will say, we're already a long time ago cheaper, but hey, this is pretty good. For us, for out west, And in Montana, this is good because this is even cheaper by almost 25, yeah, somewhere around 25 cents. Cheaper than what I filled up in the usual place I fill up at. So that's pretty good. Roughly, it says 3 hours and 7 minutes.
Turn right onto the US 93 North ramp.
Oh, let's make you quiet. 3 hours and 7 minutes-ish, and I will be home. Got myself some Starbucks coffee for the road. I had my coffee, I had my morning coffee, but for some reason, I'm feeling like I need a little bit of Starbucks love today. I don't always drink Starbucks itself. I do have my coffees, but for the most part, I'm not only a certain brand of coffee or certain kind of coffee or whatever, I do make coffee at home from an espresso machine. It's pretty decent gourmet coffee, so that's how I have mine. And then if I go over the road, then I do have coffee, but I like to get them from the machine where it actually blends it. The Love's truck stops and pretty much a lot of the decent ones, not the Alibaba ones, but the decent ones, they're actually invest into a decent coffee machine, and so their coffee is pretty good. But that's it. My delivery consisted of, or not delivery, but my help. What I did was, I wasn't unloading, but I was helping to load. I wasn't sure. Maybe dispatch didn't tell me, or maybe I thought wrong, but I thought we were unloading, but we were loading. So we just loaded up the gentleman's truck, and he's on his way to Indiana now. I'm on my way home to Spokane. And I don't know if those are snow clouds or if they're just whatever clouds or whatnot. I guess it really doesn't matter to me, because technically and most definitely, when you have an all-wheel drive vehicle like what this one is, and then my son's got good snow tires, which are almost brand new, with God's help and His will, we'll make it home just fine. Never think that everything is just up to you and always, whatever you want is going to happen. Yeah, you can contribute, but we're all in the hands of the Lord here. And we all know who's in charge. If you guys come to Missoula, Montana, what do you do here? Well, in the summertime, it's a little bit, they don't really have lakes around here except for like Sealy Lake, or you can drive out to Flathead Lake, things like that. But hey, if you're interested in coming out to Spokane, or I'm sorry, to Missoula, Spokane, to Missoula, they do have hunting. They've got mountains out here. They have some outdoor stuff like fishing. If you're into fly fishing, you'll definitely love it here. Besides that, like as far as summer fun, I guess they go snowboarding over here somewhere. I just don't know what mountain they go to. And then they go snowmobiling. There's a lot of outdoor stuff here. As far as like summer outdoors, you're a little limited to like having a lake in town. There's like Sealy Lake, there's Swan Lake. They do have lakes within like an hour and a half from here, so not bad. We have to drive to a decent place, about almost the same thing too in Spokane, so it's definitely not a bad place to live out here if you can afford it. Montana, believe it or not, you might say it's the wild, wild west. It's cold out there. What is there to do? And so on and so forth. But you know what? Montana's land is very expensive. Their homes are very expensive. So it holds its value out here. I guess being out in the middle of nowhere and having freedom and, no neighbors in sight, if you find a place like that has its own. Even city lots out here are really expensive. And I have a friend who does construction work who told me a couple of years ago that they're allowing them to build 2 houses on one city lot, like back to back. Can you guys believe that? 2 houses on a city lot, back to back? That's insane. God bless you guys. Take care. Thanks for tuning in. If you guys have some expediting questions, go ahead and ask them in the comments section. That's definitely where I answer everything as well. And if you guys do want to connect with me via Connect app, you guys can definitely do that as well. And my email address will be down too, but email is kind of one of those things. A lot of it goes to spam. A lot of it, my dispatch deletes it as well, just because it doesn't pertain to them. So best way is, is Connect, because you actually get me on both phones. Connect. You can text through there and you get my reply. It doesn't go anywhere. I'm the only one who replies. So God bless you guys. We'll see each other next time when we see each other. We're in the pass and look at what's happening. That romance I was telling you guys about. They do take care of the Lookout Pass really well. They, they scrape it, they de-ice it, they do everything out here. So Washington and Idaho over here on I-90, the border with Washington and Montana. Montana and Idaho, I'm sorry. Washington one, those are shysters. They like to make business off of putting on chains and all that kind of stuff. But here, they actually take care of their stuff, and look at what the road looks like. It's not all about business. They could have let this go, made everybody put on chains, and then made everybody get fines if you don't, just like Washington does. But thank God there's still, normal people, normal government, normal rules here and there. So that's what we're doing today. Enjoying the freedom of Idaho and Montana. Welcome to Idaho. Here it is. You guys see that? These wipers do need to get changed. They suck, but yep, now we've gone into Idaho and look at what the road is like. Just as good as it was right there. I mean, I've been in a situation, not just one, but in some situations where yes, it was like heavy snow and it was worse than this and you had to drive a lot slower. Have I not? Yes, I have. But be that as it may, they still take care of this. And an hour can go by, or maybe even less, and they'll take care of it. They'll scrape it. They will de-ice it, and you're, feeling confident again. So, but, if you're scared of driving in the winter and in the, and all that, I can't take the scare out of you, you know what I mean? I can only tell you that I'm not scared, but I can't take the scare out of you guys. You guys have to do that on your own. You just have to do it. You have to overcome it and just keep going. That's what this job's all about.